Hello again, Angry Welshman back again. Now, I didn't want to fucking do a video on this loser, but I couldn't resist. I have watched this video through once before, so, you know, I'm not doing a blind thing, and I'm just going to play a few bits and talk at certain points and show my sort of, you know, reasoning to why he's a bloody moron. I'm sorry, but he is literally one of the most ignorant people I've ever met on YouTube. He makes Jeranism feel approachable. I'm sorry, but like the shit he says, it's unreal. But you know, shit needs to be done. I'll tell you what, if you're wondering why I've put pasted D-Marble over my the YouTube title, the title of this video, well, he always bloody complains that I have his name in my titles just to increase viewership. Well, I'd like to see him what he thinks of this, so you can stuff it. Here we go.
But that's not going to work for a lot of people.
Shut up.
A lot of people are coming back to a conclusion that their five senses are, in fact, the only tools that they really need in order to determine what's real, what's not, what's feasible, and what isn't concerning their reality.
That's bullshit, I'm afraid, my friend, because your five senses can be easily fooled. Easily fooled. I can't stress that more. Your sight is one of the easiest things can be fooled. I can't understand, like, you're just basically trying to pander here to make yourself sound honest, you know, and all this kind of crap, like you're doing a Jeranism thing. You're trying to make yourself sound down to earth. Oh, my five senses. Oh, for fuck's sake. Your brain can be easily fucking fumbled. And yours, I think you've been standing too long out in the heat. Oh, by the way, there's a heat spot on your fucking forehead, mate. Is the sun just out of shot there on the screen? Huh? Yeah.
Let's have a quick discussion about the ISS.
Ugh, quick discussion. Whoop-de-doo, I'm so excited. God, they love the dramatic intros, don't they?
What we know about the ISS is that apparently it's supposed to be the size of a football field.
Yes, it is, roughly.
This thing was supposedly constructed in the upper atmosphere. Once you leave the surface of the Earth, you get to a certain altitude and then gravity just turns off. Here on Earth...
Oh, for fuck's sake, no! That's not how it works. Please understand Newton's, you know, and his, you know, understands the calculations of gravity and understand relativity. You've demonstrated to me time and time again that you know shit about what you're talking about.
Gravity supposedly pulling everything towards the center of mass, but once you get up to about, I don't know, 90 miles or so above the surface of the Earth, suddenly gravity just switches off and you can orbit. Sure, why not?
No, that's not how orbit works. You have to have a velocity to be in orbit. You have to have motion. I don't understand, like, for fuck's sake. No, you just don't go up, float, and then you're in orbit because there's no gravity. No, that's not what orbit is. You think that, oh, gravity doesn't exist and then you can orbit. No, without gravity, there won't be orbits, you fucking bell end. Please understand what you are talking about. I mean, really, I'm not the most well-versed person in mathematics and science. I use a little bit of my own common sense, which you people always claim to fucking be. But no. I mean, please understand what you're fucking talking about. Please. I beg you. Please.
So, we're supposed to believe that the International Space Station is 250 miles above us, the size of a football field.
There's photographic evidence of that. Watch Red Reddick's video.
And it's speeding around the Earth, orbiting every day multiple times, going at the breakneck speed of 17,000 miles per hour, somewhere around that. Well, recently I forced myself to watch about 15-20 minutes of the ISS
Oh, you forced yourself. I feel so fucking sorry for you.
live feed, and during that time I noticed a couple things. Well,
I'm sure you fucking did.
you know, for quite some time there was no land. There were no land masses.
Oh, fuck off for that statement. Do you not realise how big the fucking Pacific Ocean is?
That this thing was supposedly flying over for that amount of time. But, you know, I'm just watching that. It just seemed to take a while. Perhaps they were flying over an ocean, supposedly, at that time.
Which, obviously they are. And there's probably land over here somewhere. Maybe. Just by the live bit button here. Maybe. Or over here, which has been blocked by this part of the camera. Maybe. Or out of shot down here. It could be fucking anywhere.
But, you know, someone in the feed says, okay, look, here we are, about to come up on California. The ISS is supposed to be going 17,000 miles per hour. If we're looking at the speed of the ISS approaching this landmass, and then we have to think about the length of the United States from west coast to east coast, which they were saying that it was going, you know, over, it was approaching the west coast of the United States. Okay, so we're looking at the speed of approach that it's supposedly approaching the west coast of the United States, and the length of the United States from...
God, you can shorten down your sentences. You babble on and repeat yourself so fucking much. This video could have been half the fucking length, and it could save me a lot of time as well.
West coast to east coast is said to be 2,680 miles across from coast to coast. Okay, now, as we look at this ISS going at the breakneck speed of 17,000 miles per hour, supposedly, think to yourself, does this really look like it's moving at a speed to where it's going to be able to cross over the entirety of the continental United States in 10 minutes?
Yes, and also, perhaps if you bothered to continue watching Zed video, it probably did cover the entirety of the United States in about 10 minutes. Or whatever length of time. It most likely did, but you probably didn't bother to fucking watch the damn thing, could you?
Just look for a minute. Does it look like it? In my opinion, I'm going to go with no on that one.
Oh, get fucked.
But, you know, I rely on my own senses, my own common sense.
Oh, don't you fucking dare. Oh.
Basically, to say, no, it doesn't really look like this thing is going to cross over the whole continent in 10 minutes going at...
Look, I'm not going to find a video on this, and I'm not going to do the sort of thing that I usually do, you know, with show you footage. I've done this so many fucking times, and D-Marble, you just don't fucking listen. Alright, if you want to look about speed, and look at speed, like, let's take a jumbo jet. Okay, let's take a 747. Let's say it's traveling 550 miles an hour. No, let's keep it a round figure. Let's just say 500 miles an hour. When you look up at a plane, at it, you know, being at 30, 40,000 feet, right? When you're looking up, does that plane look like that it's traveling 500 miles an hour to you? I'm guessing no, it doesn't. Same thing. When you're in the air, looking out the window on that same jumbo, and you're looking out the window, looking down to the ground, does it look like to you that the ground is passing by at the speed of 500 miles an hour? No, it doesn't. But I don't see you fucking cry conspiracy about that. Please be a little smarter about the shit you talk about, please.
At that speed. So anyway, moving along.
That's just him just giving up. He hasn't really fucking explained himself. His opinions are fact. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's good enough.
Looking at some other things, I did some screenshots, did some video captures.
Well done.
On this supposed live feed.
Can you stop saying the word supposed? Really? It's not going anywhere.
Now I noticed some things. Looked like the solar panels were kind of a little more flexible than you would expect them to be.
They mostly are a little bit flexible.
You know, you see in this one picture, you see the solar panels are kind of straight, and then seconds later, you see them curved.
And what's your point? Oh yeah. They're using a GoPro camera. That's the thing, the fisheye lens. But this is my argument to you again. If you think this is fake, and you think this isn't a live stream, and you think this is just a plane, or you think this is all CGI, the Earth underneath is all CGI, and this is all CGI, whatever, right? Why the fuck would they need to use a GoPro camera with a fisheye lens then to create a false horizon if it's all supposedly fake? Damn, he's got me saying that weird now. God damn it.
Weird.
Stop doing that fucking arm thing. Like, you've reached an epiphany and you try to explain shit to people. That, you know, hands together, hands apart. Stop it.
I just thought that was a little odd. And that's...
A little odd. I'm sure you were able to figure it out.
Seemed to happen the same time that the horizon was going through these fluctuations in how curved it was.
Yes, they use fisheye lenses because a fisheye lens is quite a common lens. They use this. They use it all the time. What's your fucking point?
There were points where it was just ridiculous looking. Like, you can tell whatever they recorded this video with was obviously a fisheye lens.
So, yes, and I don't think they hide that matter from you.
So, you know, check the horizon. You see how it lines up here, and then you see how it lines up here. Doesn't have a whole lot of correlation if you just, you know, look at the amount of curvature coming from the right side. But again, this is just more things to think about. Alright, now moving along, the ISS is said to be 250 miles above the Earth.
Yes.
That places it in a level of the atmosphere called the thermosphere.
Don't you dare do what I think you're going to do. I've watched this video before, I shouldn't really, I'm almost scripting myself now. But he's going to go into the fucking temperature here. You watch.
According to online searches, the alleged...
Yay, research!
Temperature in the thermosphere is said to be between 900 and 3,632 degrees Fahrenheit in the thermosphere where the ISS is supposedly at.
Yes, and please tell me what you're about to say. Come on, we're all dying.
Now, that's one of those things that I talked about already, like the ISS, the external components. A lot of that doesn't withstand the melting temperatures and all that. You think about the aluminum, you think about the glass from the solar panels. Also, by the way, let's take a look at one of the astronauts' gloves here. Okay, this glove, this looks like rubber. Looks like it might be plastic, but whatever it is on this astronaut's hand out in space in the thermosphere doesn't look like it can withstand 900 plus degree temperatures. Okay?
Okay. No, it's how heat transfers in a vacuum. You've been over this and you still don't listen. You just don't listen. This is why I'm getting so aggravated by you. Is that you are so far stuck up your own ass. You are so unwilling to listen to anyone. Hell, I remember on your channel, I only commented on your channel twice, and then you blocked me. And I know this because I went on to another channel of mine and my comments conveniently disappeared. Again, it's the same old fucking pattern with you people. You bitch and moan about flat Earth, you know, flat Earthers getting shut down and being ignored, and yet you do the fucking same. You're so uninterested and you fear so many people to come onto your channel that prove you wrong, and I've proved you fucking wrong plenty of times. And yet you just act like an entitled bitch and come onto my channel feeling that you're so much better than me just because you got more subscribers. And then you just act like a bitch like, oh, you're just using my fucking famous name, you bloody... Oof. Fuck you lucky I'm not racist.
So we have to think about these things. I'd have to conclude at some point that these...
Yeah, because your conclusions are fucking fantastic.
These astronauts would get fried if they were out in these temperatures.
Understand how heat transfers in a vacuum, please.
You know, I mean, come on. What are these spacesuits made of? Seriously. Vibranium? Adamantium?
Just look it up. And yeah, the vibranium adamantium, No, it's not funny.
Perhaps iridium? I don't think so. Looks like these same suits that they use in these these pools that they do their training in, which is also ridiculous
Why?
because the way that water works is not exactly the way that space would work. Because water,
And you'd know that, wouldn't you? Of course you would.
what that does, that kind of creates pressure around the astronaut. Like the deeper you go in the water, then the more pressure it's going to be pushing in. Well, whereas if you're in a vacuum, there's going to be more expansion, in theory. Just more stuff to think about.
No, it's not more stuff to fucking think about. That's not the reason why they use spacesuits in the pool. They'd use spacesuits in the pool so that the astronauts can get used to wearing it in a weightless environment. And water is the closest thing we have, buying from space, that even resembles a weightless experience. That's the reason. Nothing to fucking do with the pressure. Again, it's the same old shit with you. You just don't fucking think things through.
If they're trying to mimic the idea of zero gravity in a pool, then yeah, that might work. But as
There's no but. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
far as the way that the suits are going to interact with space, that doesn't really work out the same.
Yeah, you'd know that, would you? Please tell me your thinking on that.
Also, I'd have to conclude, from what I've seen, that the ISS live feed, it's on a loop. And if you sit down and watch the ISS live feed long enough, you're going to see where it loops at. And there's a point where the astronaut turns around, goes into selfie mode. Okay, you can see his face clearly, and then all of a sudden, bam, the visor pops up, and you can't see his face anymore. Like,
Well, this video you're pointing to, this video is about a year or two old. You can clearly tell that he turns the camera to his face and then turns it off and then turns it back on again. What's different? Again, you people act like editing isn't supposed to happen. Like it's not allowed magically with you people.
it's magic. What that shows
No, magic is just a cut in editing.
is either live editing or that it's on a loop. I'm going to say this thing's on a loop because I've actually watched a lot of the ISS live feed, and a lot of it just
Have you now? Well done. What you fucking want, a medal?
looks the same. It seriously, take some time. If you feel the need to, take some time. And you'll, every now and then just pop on. Just check it out for about 5 minutes.
Which means looks the same. What are you expecting the Earth to do? What? Do you expect the Earth to turn fucking purple and orange underneath you in time to time? Yeah. The Earth doesn't change. Fucking hell.
The next couple days, check it out for another 5 minutes.
And that video that you're showing, that's not the live feed. You've gone to another video that says it's a live feed, but it isn't. It's just hours of looped videos. You haven't got this from the actual website. I don't think NASA does live feeds anymore, as far as I'm aware. That video I remember because you've used this video that I think Flat Earth Arsehole once used. So it's a year and a bit old, maybe older. So it's not a live feed.
Next couple days, go on a couple more minutes, and you'll start noticing that, okay, this looks like the same stuff all the time. So I'm thinking that the whole ISS live feed, it really does look like it's on a loop, and you can tell where.
Because you're not watching an actual live feed. It just comes from that YouTube channel that just posts videos that are several hours long. The title is just, this is live feed. This is the live feed from, thing. Maybe they should change the name of the title at some point, but it's not actual live feed. It's just the fact that they're broadcasting the video. Look this shit up, please.
It loops because the astronaut goes from clear to he's covered.
Wow. A visor.
Without any hesitation. You didn't see him hit a button and the visor came down. It just went from.
Stop fucking picking on a moment that makes no fucking difference to your video. You're picking on something that doesn't matter. It was an edit in a fucking video. It was a cut. Who fucking cares?
One to the other. That's a red flag, in my opinion. There.
Everything's a fucking red flag in your opinion.
Again, I conclude that, you know, maybe the ISS is made of something that can withstand those temperatures.
Oh, shut up.
But the spacesuits, no. Astronauts would get fried as soon as they got out. Period. But
I'd like to. I find it funny that you're taking the temperatures that are up there as gospel at 250 miles high, and yet you people are not supposed to believe that that height exists. So this is a major fucking stupid conspiracy. If one person, thanks to satellites I might add, and many other things, actually determine the temperature of that high, I wonder how they manage to determine the temperature. Might be something called satellites, maybe. But so you like to, so you are believing the temperature's up there, but yet you don't think anything is up there, and you don't believe that up there exists. God, your fucking logic is warped.
this is where the heliocentric enthusiasts will come out and say, but
No, it's not heliocentric enthusiast. Stop fucking saying that word, by the way. No, it's called science, and you can do this in a lab with a vacuum chamber.
solar radiation,
Yes, solar radiation, yes.
indicating that the sun works differently because the sun is 93 million miles away and the sun puts out a certain type of solar radiation. Now in space doesn't really have any matter. There's no particles for the sun's heat to connect to in order to create those temperatures.
Yes! Well done! You finally fucking get it. I think.
So heat works differently out there. You know, since it's a vacuum, there's no particles.
Yes, well done.
It's not the same. But when those solar rays come from 93 million miles away and enter Earth's atmosphere, then we get to actually feel some heat. Basically, that heat and temperature work differently out in space. How convenient.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Again, see, you are just literally... You're taking scientific fact and you are, like, ignoring it purely based on your fucking own opinion. It's how heat transfer works. It's how radiation transfer works. When there's no fucking particles for the heat to transfer through, the objects don't get heated up that easily. It's how it fucking works. Find videos on this shit, please. There's fucking hundreds of them. You just discarded everything scientific that you just said and just said it was all convenient. No, it's just how fucking science works. But you don't understand it. And based on your own fucking opinion bias, you think it's all bullshit. Just because you fucking want the Earth to be flat.
Personally, I find it somewhat more feasible that the sun is actually a local source of light and heat, just as we perceive.
Well, that's odd, seeing how it gets cold in higher altitudes when you're in the atmosphere. Think about that. There's a reason why aeroplanes, back in the day needed to wear bomber jackets. Temperature decreases in our atmosphere until you go out into space, and it gets very cold. If it was small and local, well, if it's small and local, let's put it this way. Fly up there and fly towards the sun. It would get exponentially hotter, wouldn't you think? But it doesn't. So get wrecked, you motherfucker. Sorry, I did a little cut there, but let's continue.
Not 93 million miles away, that it's small.
Have you? We've got measurements. You have nothing.
That it's local, that it actually does...
How small? Do you have any fucking measurements?
Spend most of every year making a clockwise circuit.
How? What's the mechanics? What's the physics? What's the science? How is it spinning in a circle? By magic, as you like to say earlier? How?
Near the equator, which is why the equator is always maintaining a constant temperature for the most part throughout the year.
Which it explains it in the diagram above.
As we perceive it, because we know, people in those regions, those islands, those continents that are right around the equator, they experience the same temperatures throughout the year. So it just makes more sense that the sun is local and that the sun has a certain temperature, and that heat from the sun and the light from the sun, it's because the sun is close. It's not because of some magical radiation from millions of miles away.
Stop saying magical radiation. It's just called nature, my friend. Science, physics. You need to really be reading up on this shit. And you think, how small? How close? If it was close, that means the closer you fly towards the sun, it would get hotter, and you would be able, if it was close, you'd be able to know. But thing is, thanks to observations, we have measurements throughout the day and throughout the year that tell us that it's not.
That doesn't make any sense. But
nothing fucking makes sense to you.
If you think about a light bulb and how you can see a light bulb from a distance, and if you get close enough to that light bulb, you can feel the heat from that light bulb. I would surmise that that's probably how the sun works.
Oh, so now the sun is just some fucking light bulb. Are you fucking kidding me?
But these are just things that I want to share with you about.
Well, that must mean then that the higher you go, the hotter it gets. Which it doesn't. It just fucking doesn't. Your logic is just so fucked up.
The way that I perceive reality.
Oh, get fucked. According to your fucking logic, look, there's a reflection heat spot on your sunglasses. Does that mean the sun's really close to it? Is it? No, it's not, is it?
Could be, maybe not, but it makes more sense.
Does it? Does it?
It's a lot harder to believe that whole 93 million miles away.
No, it's not. It really fucking isn't.
Special type of radiation travels through the infinite vacuum of space and then suddenly ends up here, and suddenly we can be warm. That's odd. And if
the reason why we feel warm is because there's air here. Stop saying magical solar radiation. It's just how heat transfers. For fuck's sake.
That could work that way, then there wouldn't be such great temperature fluctuations from the equator to the supposed poles. You know, the North Pole.
What do you mean supposed poles?
Gets a little colder, gets a lot colder, and the equator is about 85 all year, something like that. And then the South Pole, Antarctica, it's all frozen tundra. I don't think that a couple of thousand miles, you know, of latitude are going to cause such a great variation in temperature if the sun is 93 million miles away and the rays hit the sun parallel, like we're told according to the heliocentric.
Oh, fuck off this parallel sun thing. It's, for fuck's sake, it's the angle of Z light. At a greater angle, the solar radiation and the sunlight is going to travel through more air. More air to get to the ground, more air to penetrate. For fuck's sake. Ugh.
Model. Just give me some things to think about. Just some stuff to consider. But anyway.
I have, and I've considered they're a pile of shit.
That's all I got for this one. Just wanted to share those things with you. What I've been doing lately is just, you know, I've been watching a lot from plaintruth.info. That's a shout out I'd like to do. Go over, check out plaintruth.info. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't.
No. Oh look, he's got fucking Richie from Boston on his fucking subscribe list. Whoa.
Already, he gets into a great detail about a lot of the things that are going on. Mandela.
Oh, Mandela effect. Holy shit.
Effect, the Jesuits.
Oh, Jesuits, yeah, because blame the fucking Jews for everything, isn't it? Every time something goes wrong, we blame the fucking Jews.
You know, the...
I'm not anti-Jew or anything. I'm not religious. I'm just, you know, going with the thing.
Just a lot of good information.
No, it's just information. Because you believe in the Mandela effect, even though there's no evidence, just because what you remember shit to be isn't the same as you remember. Did I say that right? Whatever. But you know what I mean.
Lots of stuff. He covers all kinds of topics. Like, he's constantly on this thing. So great information coming from him all the time. He gets into the fiat currency system, the fake media. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, see? This is what I'm fucking talking about. You're delving into another world here of lies and deceit and espionage and all this kind of fucking crap and war and killing, and then acting like flat Earth isn't the same sort of topic when it fucking isn't.
He's on it. He's got a video about this stuff. So check out aplaintruth.info. Just want to do that quick shout out. Other than that, that's all I got for this one. As always, be good to each other. Take care of yourself. Stay flat. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Stay fucking flat. How about no? Well, that's me. That's enough for that video today. I'll see you again. Good night.